Alright, welcome back. Now today we're going to be looking at some composite shapes and their perimeter. And a composite shape is just a shape that is made up of multiple shapes that are different from our special quadrilaterals or any of our regular shapes. Now in order to solve these, often the best way to think about it is what am I missing in order to solve? So let's get started. With our first one, A, what do we need? What are we missing? So let's put in the information in that we are missing. And for all of these rectangular shapes, just assume every corner is a 90-degree angle. So we know that this side here is 3 centimeters, which means we can probably put it in. This side here is also 3 centimeters. Now, we also know that this long side here is 9 centimeters. So we can think about this as also the same length as the base and these two parts here. So if we add those up, we'll get another 9 centimeters. So all we're missing here and the last part is our 2 remaining sides, which are going to be 6 centimeters. Now it's important to note, we don't actually need to know what each one of these little side bits is actually, because we know that when we add each one up, it's going to be equal to 9 in total. So if we looked at this a little bit differently, these ones here, maybe a stronger color, these sides here are exactly the same length as the 9 centimeters, and we are only dealing with perimeter, so all we have to do is find out how far around the total shape is. So our perimeter is going to be equal to 3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 6, and then add on 2 groups of 9. Alright, again, this is in centimeters, so you may want to put that information in so you don't make a mistake like I did right here. So we have 3 groups of 6, which is going to be 18, and another group of 9 is going to be 27, and another group is going to be 36 centimeters. Alright, our next one here for B, that was A, for B it's a little bit different. So we have a whole side here that is equal to 20 centimeters, and we have another side here that is equal to 15, and it may seem that we're missing every single other side that we need, but if I draw in each one of the vertical lines, you'll see that the same height occurs here as on the outside. So in reality, every single one of these blue lines has to be equal to 15 centimeters. And the same can be said for all of our red lines. They're going to match up to be the exact same length as the top 20 centimeters. So in reality, these are also equal to 20 centimeters. So we don't really care about the individual length, we only care about the total perimeter. So our perimeter is going to be equal to 20 plus 20 plus 15 plus 15. Okay, so our perimeter 20 plus 20 is 40, and 15 plus 15 is 30, so 40 plus 30 is 70 centimeters. Alright, C is a little bit easier. So for C, we know a lot of the information that we already need. The only thing we're missing is this side over here. In order to solve for that, we recognize that the same length here and here is also going to have to match up with this length in total here. So this is 5 and this is 5. That must mean that this is 10 meters. Now we've got our last piece of missing information, so now we can solve. So our perimeter is going to be equal to 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 10 plus 10. So that will be equal to, well, that's 3 groups of 10, which is 30, plus 4 is 34 meters. Alright, for D, we have almost all the information that we need, but we are missing this side here, and we are missing our other side vertically here. But we do have lots of information that can help us. What we need to know is what this length here is going to be. So if we know this total length is 14, then we know that this length is 6, then what we need to do is take 6 away from 14 and we will get our vertical distance. So 14 minus 6 is just going to be 8. And we can do the same idea for our length. So we have 15 here and we have 5 here. If I take 5 away from 15, I should get our missing number, which is going to be 10. Now that I have every single thing I need, I can solve for the perimeter. So the perimeter is going to be equal to 5 plus 8 plus 10 plus 6 plus 14 plus 15. Alright? So if we add all these up and simplify them, our 6 plus our 14 is 20, plus our 15 is 35, plus our other 5 is going to be 40, and then we add on our 10, 58. 58 centimeters. Alright, so here's a few for you to practice, so just pause the video, give them a go, and then I will solve them. Okay, let's get started with E. So our first one uses these symbols to represent the same length. So if we've got 2 dashes here, that means our 2 dashes here are also going to be 16 millimeters. Now, if we know that this side and this side is equal, that doesn't hugely help us, but what we do know is that this 16 millimeters has to be the same length as both of these. So we know that this total length has to be also 16 millimeters. And that leaves us with one missing piece of information, which is this length here. Now, in order to find that out, we know that the total length here is 22, and all we need to do is take away 16. So if we do 16 minus 22 minus 16, we will get 6 millimeters. Now that we have that information, we can solve for our perimeter, which is going to be equal to 16 plus 16 plus 16 plus 22, and then add on our final 6. Okay, and that's just going to be equal to 76 millimeters. Alright, let's do F. So for F, each one of these little points here is equal to 4 centimeters. That means every single one of these vertical parts is going to be equal to 4 centimeters. And because we have 4 of them, that means we have 4 times 4, so we have 16. So our perimeter is going to be equal to 16. And then we've got 8 centimeters here, so we have an 8 on both sides. So 8 plus 8, and then we have a 12 here, and this total side also has to equal 12. So all of this will equal 12 as well. So even the ends and the recesses will also equal to 12. So we just add on our 12 and our other 12. And if we add all of that together, well, we get 20, 40, 56. 56 centimeters. If we look at G, G has a little bit of some complicated elements. So we know that this side here is equal to this side here. So let's put in that length as we go. And then we need to fill out the remaining information. So we know that these in total, and that's another 4, have to equal this side here. So if we've got a 4 and a 4, we've got 8, and we add on our remaining 10, we have that this side here is 18, and we can do the exact same thing with our other side. So here is 8, here is 16, so, and then we have a 4 left over. So the 4 and the 16 is a 20, add the 8, and we get 28. Now, with all that information added up, we can do 28 plus 18 plus 4 plus 10 plus 16 plus 4 plus 8 plus 4. And this all together should equal out to be 92 centimeters. Alright, now it's time for our last one, which is H. H is a little bit less complicated, so we have one side which is 50. That means that every single one of these horizontal sides has to also equal to 50, and our other vertical side is going to be 25, which means all of these vertical components also have to be equal to 25. So all we have to do to solve for our perimeter is write our perimeter is equal to 25 plus 25 plus 50 plus 50, which is just going to be equal to 150 centimeters. Right, that's it for this video. Hope it was helpful, and I will see you in the next one.